I can ring this all day if you don't quiet down. Good morning. Welcome to UCOV, which stands for Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Venice. Each and every one of you is welcome here today and every day. We're delighted that you chose to be with us today, and we hope you'll meet someone new and find something in today's service that speaks to you. My name is Janet Knudsen, and I am your worship associate. Our worship leader today is our interim minister, Reverend Amy Petrie Shaw. If you'd like to learn more about UCOV and all that we offer for learning and connection, please visit our website at uucov.org or visit our Facebook page. If you're joining us online, please know that your donations are welcome and can be made remotely by clicking the donate button on the website. Are there any visitors with us today who would raise their hand? Looks like we've got a few. Would you please tell us where you're visiting from and your name?
Okay, I'll go first.
Okay.
Hi, my name's Kim Hare, and I'm from Portland, Oregon. I'm here visiting my mother, Betty Moore, who lives in the Kingsgate Club over here in Nokomis. So, thank you.
Welcome. Other visitors?
Hi, I'm Susan Tracy, visiting my friend Beverly, and I am from Fairfield, Connecticut, and I've been here before, and you're really filled up today. Wonderful. God is good.
Any other visitors? Upcoming events are on the back side of the order of service that you were handed at the door, but we have a couple of other announcements you should be aware of. This month's special offering is for All Faiths Food Bank. They provide millions of meals each year, and their top priority is to feed the hungry, whoever might be hungry. A family facing financial crisis, an older adult having a hard time making ends meet, a veteran experiencing challenges after years of service, or a child without access to free or reduced cost meals because school is not in session. Please make checks payable to UCOV with All Faiths in the memo line. And if you are watching online today and want to mail a check, that's to UCOV 1971 Pinebrook Road, Venice. The first gathering of the Great Decisions discussion group is being held on Monday, February 13th at the home of Roxy Platt from 6 to 8 p.m. Participants should bring an appetizer and beverage. This series of 8 foreign policy discussions, sponsored by the Foreign Policy Association, has been held yearly since 1918. The first meeting's focus is on energy geopolitics and will be facilitated by Steve Simon. At the first meeting, they will set the schedule and location of the remaining meetings. If you are interested in participating, please see Kathy Avery or John Van Camp. We have copies of the Great Decisions briefing book available. Tuesday, February 14th, that's Valentine's Day, we are starting a Mahjong group. And the first meeting will be focused on teaching those who are interested but don't know how to play. Bring your enthusiasm. If you have any questions, see Ellen Higdon. Friday, February 17th, will be a showing of Vincent Alive in the sanctuary at 5:30 with refreshments served, so come and immerse yourself in art. Next Sunday, before service at 8:45, there will be a thank you breakfast for everyone who contributed to the auction. Remember to join the board here back in the sanctuary after service today for a question and answer time. Now I'm going to call Serena Canarelli up. She has an update from the search committee.
Good morning. I'm here from our Board of Trustees, and I'm so excited to tell you where we are currently in the selection of our settled ministry search. But I can't tell you today. For those of you who attended the meetings we held after services in the past several months, our purpose was to educate the congregation on the process put forth by UUA in the 2022-2023 Settlement Handbook Guidelines. One of their first recommendations was to review our congregation's bylaws so that they are consistent with UUA guidelines. Our board reviewed Article 10 in our bylaws and voted to follow the UUA guidelines and recommended 2 changes to the bylaws committee. Under Article 10, selection and termination of ministers, and Section 1 vacancies, to fill a ministerial vacancy, the board and congregation are guided by current UUA guidelines. The second change, also one of the guidelines, was to remove the statement that nominations or self-nominations could be received from the floor. That is no longer allowed. The congregation voted on both of these changes at last year's annual meeting in March. So when we first started talking about the process, we talked about the guidelines and recommended that the recommendation was that the board contact all of the members of the congregation and have a discussion with them about who they would trust to sit on the search committee. And there were several questions that were involved in that conversation. Well, in light of all that happened in the last year, and I'll just go through it very quickly, the congregation, and specifically the board, has been through, since our minister resigned in January of 2022. We still had to get through a pandemic. We had to appoint an interim search committee, which did a great job bringing us Reverend Amy. And then we had to find ministers to fill 6 months of the pulpit. And then we had a hurricane, and we are still dealing with some of the consequences of that. So by mid-fall of 2022, we knew that we had to start dealing with putting together a search team and being as transparent as possible with the congregation and how that process worked. We finally decided that making all those phone calls was not a viable option, given all that had happened. Last November, the board had our first meeting with our assigned transitions program manager via Zoom. During that meeting, we were able to negotiate 2 actions that would benefit our congregation in the short term and in the long term, and still follow the guidelines. We were able to change the phone calling process, and by taking those questions and converting them into a voting ballot, we sent each voting member, as you know, most of you, an e-blast containing that ballot, and we asked you to return it to our data manager, Janet Knudsen, or myself, and Janet compiled all the data, and we had a pretty good 58% of our voting membership return, and that short list was created, and for those of you who would trust to serve on the search committee. So I want to thank everybody who voted. You created a great list of candidates. The other change we negotiated was to move up our time frame for the selection process from June, when many in our congregations, as you know, people leave in April and May. And so we wanted to move it up so that we could have the search committee hopefully in place by March, and we will be meeting that deadline. The shortlist was presented to the board for their review and approval of the next step in the process. The UUA guidelines gave us 2 options. After the congregation voted on the shortlist, we had the option of having a competitive election with candidates basically campaigning against each other to come up with the winning 7, or the board could select to, first of all, determine who would be willing to serve on the committee. In other words, who would be willing to commit to the timeframes that are imposed on the search committee, etc. We chose the latter option, because we didn't want to have a competitive election that can turn into just a popularity contest. This did not mean that those people who were on the short list and were called would be on the committee, but they would be considered to be on the committee. I'm happy to say that while there were, and through all the phone calls that I made from the short list, there were many no's. People did not want to be on the search committee and did not want to commit the time. But I'm also happy to say that there were many yeses. So what we did is we asked each of the people who voted yes or who committed to being on the committee to give us a brief biographical statement and indicate on their statement why they were interested in being on the search committee. Those statements are now in the hands of all the board members, and the last step is this coming Thursday on January 16th at our last board meeting. It is our responsibility as a board to bring the best possible group of people together that were voted on by the congregation as individuals they would serve, they would trust to serve. Individuals who would work well with others, were relatively active in our community, and have the skills needed to serve in such a position. So next Thursday, the board will hopefully come to the unanimous decision of 7 individuals, and they will be announced at next Sunday's service. At the end of the service, before everyone leaves, we're going to ask voting members to take a pink card, and at the very end of the service, we are going to ask you to accept the slate that the board will present to you by holding up your card with a yes vote, and hopefully not a no vote, but that's up to you. And just let me leave you with the last thing. Please come next week, because the vote is important, and it's your responsibility as voting members. I think we are going to have a great search team, and I want all of us to wish the people who were nominated and voted upon the very best, and to thank them for their willingness to serve. Very last statement, I promise. I want to read you the current bylaws, because it's really important how we operate. In the event of a vacancy in the position of a settled minister, a search committee shall be constituted from the members of the congregation by vote of the congregation. The board shall submit a slate of nominees for the search committee. The search committee shall consist of 7 members, and that's all of it. Thank you.
We are now entering a sacred space. Please silence all your cell phones. Our service will begin with the prelude. Today's chalice lighting words come from a Beatles tune, With a Little Help from My Friends. What would you think if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me? Lend me your ears and I'll sing you a song, and I'll try not to sing out of key. We all get by with a little help from our friends, and we light our chalice today in honor of the love of our community.
Well, good morning, friends. Good morning. I'm Reverend Amy Petrie Shaw. My pronouns are she or they, and I am so glad you are here on this really windy day. Today we're going to be talking about love in all its wonderful forms. One of my favorite quotes about love has always been one from the work of Elizabeth Barrett Browning. And she penned this, and it's absolutely beautiful. I love you not only for what you are, but for what I am when I am with you. I love you not only for what you have made of yourself, but for what you are making of me. I love you for the part of me that you bring out. I hope together we can learn to always try to bring out the best in one another. So come and let us worship here together. Now I'm going to ask you all to take 30 seconds just to say hi or to introduce yourself to the people around you. Now that we've all met our neighbors, please rise in body or spirit and join in singing our opening hymn this week, Just as Long as I Have Breath, number 6. This is the point in our service where we do our children's chapel. And children's chapel lets us tell any children who are following along at home, online, or any children who are here with us, exactly what it is the adults are going to be talking about today. Because I know if I was a kid and I was getting sung out, I'd wonder what you people were up to behind my back. So today we're going to be talking about love, because it's almost Valentine's Day, right? And you all know the word love gets thrown around a lot, right? You say things like, boy, I love pizza. I love my new hair bow. I love my Uncle Steve. Wait a minute. How do those things go together? We use the same word to do a lot of work. So today we're going to be talking about, well, what does it mean when you say you love somebody, or when somebody says they love you? And it all boils down to when you love somebody, or when they love you, they make you the best you can be. They love you with all your bad stuff and your good stuff. Not that they don't want you to be better, but they love you anyway. And they bring out the best in you. Not because they make you do it, but because you want to be better when you're with them. You want to be the best you can be. And that's the best way we can look at love. So I ask that you all help me today love the kids on their way to their classrooms by singing them out with the Reeb Children's Benediction. We pass the plate every week here at church, not because we want to make lots and lots of money. Now, you know we don't make lots and lots of money from that. We pass it because it's a reminder that generosity is a sacred practice. So we all engage in the giving ritual just to remind us that whether you give a quarter or a penny or $1 or $100, you're a part of this community, and you're here to experience generosity as both a giver and as a receiver. Now, our offering words are always offered with levity because giving should always happen with a smile. Several men were in the locker room of a gym when a cell phone on the bench rang, and the man next to it picked it up and put it on speaker. He was busy getting dressed, and he started to talk, and everyone in the room kind of stopped to listen. The guy says, hello, and you hear a woman's voice say, hi, honey, it's me. Are you at the club? Yeah, I'm at the club. Oh, good, I'm at church now, and they need some building materials. They're working on that project out front. It's only $2,000, honey. Is it okay if I give it to them? And the man thought for a minute. He says, oh, sure, go ahead if you want to. The woman said, I do. I'm worried. The minister said the pledge drive is short, and the man said, well, how much? And the woman said, $90,000. And the man thought for a minute. He said, you know what? Give him $100,000. The woman said, oh my gosh, sweetheart, that is amazing. The minister's going to die of shock. And the guy said, well, anything for you, sweetheart. And the woman said, okay, I love you so much, thank you. The man said, I love you too, goodbye, and he hung up. The other men in the locker room were staring at him in astonishment, their mouths hanging open. He thought pensively for a minute and turned to look at the other men around him and said, yeah, anybody know whose phone this is? I really don't want to start watching for you guys to put your phones down so I can make calls. So the morning offering will now be given and received. thank you so much for these gifts and for absolutely everything that you do for the life and the work of this community. Because community is what we're all here for. The church isn't the building, it's the people. And it's as a community of human hands and human hearts that we come together to share our laughter and our tears, to bear witness and minister to one another as we struggle with life's sorrows and celebrate the joys. We are entering into a time of sharing our joys and concerns, and you can raise a hand and someone will bring you a mic. You're also welcome to always come up before the service and light a candle at the candle table. You're welcome to come up during joys and concerns and light a candle if you want a silent recognition. But please feel free to raise your hand if you have something to share, and we'll light a candle for you.
I have a joy and a question to you. The joy is that my brother, who lives in Germany, finally will visit me here at the end of March, beginning of April. Now comes the question. I'm looking for a room or an apartment or a condo to rent for 10 days. You find me at the Lanai for any information about that. Thank you for listening.
Palmer. That's better. My sister is visiting. She comes tomorrow. She thinks it's going to take her an hour and a half to get from the Tampa airport here. I didn't want to disappoint her and tell her the truth. I am looking forward very much to her visit. She hasn't been here in a long time. Second thing, because I guess I'm allowed a second thing. The breakfast next Sunday for anyone who helped with the auction, anyone who helped in any way, buying, donating, lifting a chair, is more than welcome. 8:45 next Sunday. You're just going to have to get up a little early.
My name is Dawn Spitz. I couldn't make church last Sunday because I had to go to the hospital. I had a little heart condition. But as you can see, I survived happily to celebrate my 92nd birthday this week. And it was a joy because my daughters were with me, and in every way, I'm very grateful to be alive. Thank you.
My name is Wayne Lucigian from Exeter, New Hampshire, and last month I joined this choir, and I'm having a wonderful time. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Roger Pratt. We're friends of Ralph and Sally Erb, who are members here. Sally had her shoulder reconstructed, and she's not here today because with this boisterous crowd, she was afraid she was going to get bumped. So Sally's probably watching, so everybody say hi.
Okay, I apologize, but I have a topper. This is my mother, Betty Moore, who's going to turn 99 on Saturday.
All right, I have one. My better half, Katie Thomas, and I are celebrating her son, who's a Lutheran minister in the D.C. area, being down with us for 3 days.
And I have one last one. I'm lighting a candle for my beloved friend Erica, who lost her aunt this week. And she asked that we hold her family in their heart, in your hearts. May the love of this community hold everyone who needs love and concern. May the light of our community shine on the broken places of the world. May the work of our hands and our hearts support, aid, and comfort all those who hunger or thirst for food or water, justice or freedom. May we never look away when we are needed. May those who are grieving be comforted. May those who are tired find rest. May the broken places be healed. And may those who are filled with joy and laughter be abundant.
The song that we're going to sing is really, in its spirit, a sing-along. And by the time we've sung about 6 verses, I think you'll have the melody. And I will turn around and invite you to sing us a refrain with us at the very end. Love is all around me in this world. Love is all around me in this world. Love is all around me, I am absolutely sure. I can see it, 'cause I know what I'm looking for. Joy is all around me in this world. Joy is all around me in this world. Joy is all around me in this world. Joy is all around me, I am absolutely sure. I can see it, 'cause I know what I'm looking for. Hope is all around me in this world. Hope is all around me in this world. Hope is all around me in this world. Hope is all around me, I am absolutely sure. I can see it, 'cause I know what I'm looking for. Peace is all around me in this world. Peace is all around me in this world. Peace is all around me in this world. Peace is all around me, I am absolutely sure. I can see it, 'cause I know what I'm looking for. Love is all around me in this world. Love is all around me in this world. Love is all around me in this world. Love is all around me, I am absolutely sure. I can see it, 'cause I know what I'm looking for. Love is all around me in this world. Love is all around me in this world. Love is all around me in this world. Love is all around me, I am absolutely sure. I can see it, 'cause I know what I'm looking for.
Our first reading is from How Falling in Love is Like Owning a Dog by Taylor Mali. First of all, it's a big responsibility, especially in a city like New York. So think long and hard before deciding on love. On the other hand, love gives you a sense of security. When you're walking down the street late at night and you have a leash on love, ain't no one going to mess with you. Because crooks and muggers think love is unpredictable. Who knows what love could do in its own defense? On cold winter nights, love is warm. It lies between you and lives and breathes and makes funny noises. Love wakes you up all hours of the night with its needs. It needs to be fed so it will grow and stay healthy. Love doesn't like being left alone for long. But come home, and love is always happy to see you. It may break a few things accidentally in its passion for life, but you can never be mad at love for long. Is love good all the time? No. No. Love can be bad. Bad love, bad. Very bad love. Love makes messes. Love leaves you little surprises here and there. Love needs lots of cleaning up after. Sometimes you just want to get love fixed. Sometimes you want to roll up a piece of newspaper and swat love on the nose. Not so much to cause pain, just to let love know, don't you ever do that again. Sometimes love just wants to go out for a nice long walk, because love loves exercise. It will run you around the block and leave you panting, breathless, pull you in different directions at once, or wind itself around and around you until you're all wound up and you cannot move. But love makes you meet people wherever you go, people who have nothing in common but love. Stop and talk to each other on the street. Throw things away and love will bring them back again and again and again. But most of all, love needs love, lots of it, and in return, love loves you and never stops.
When I was looking for pieces for this service, I found a beautiful section from the Karaniya Metta Sutra. And it was just perfect to take us into meditation. Here are the words. Let none deceive another or despise another being in any state. Let none through anger or ill will wish harm upon another. Even as a mother protects with her life her child, her only child, so with a boundless heart should one cherish all living beings. Holding these words in mind, please join me in 1 minute of silent meditation or thought or prayer.
Reading is from Love is Supposed to be Messy by Ari Easterman. Love isn't supposed to be perfect. I mean, that should be common knowledge considering nothing in life is. Things are flawed, complicated, and never exactly how we expect them to be. We're humans, which means we screw up. It means we try and mean well, but fumble over our humble mistakes. You know that's okay, right? There's this misconception that love means holding out for perfection, even though we all claim we know that doesn't exist. People still cling to it, like love will somehow be the exception. Don't you dare settle. Wait for magnetism, a kiss that feels like fire and lava and happiness rolled into one. Just wait, wait. That's not how life works. That's not how love works. Love is messy. Love is vulnerability, and vulnerability means imperfection. It's you showing the parts of yourself that aren't beautiful. It means honesty in the ugliness. It means nights that aren't romantic. It means nights that are real instead. Love shouldn't sound like your favorite pop song. Sometimes, sure. I'm not saying fireworks don't exist, they damn sure do, but fireworks aren't the only thing that matters. Love is waking up with sleep crust in your eyes. Love is accidentally farting during sex. Or walking around with spinach in your teeth all day and no one told you until now. Love is embarrassing stories that people tell at family parties. Love is choosing to stay in it. Love is putting in the work. Love is saying, I want you, even when things are hard, and bowing out would be the easier option. When you find this love, the love that sticks around, it will not always be pretty and something you want to stick on Instagram. It will have frustration and error. It will have arguments and discussions and emotions that aren't all happy ones. Love, like any part of life, is meant to be layered. Please rise now in body or spirit and join in singing hymn number 100, I've Got Peace Like a River, verses 1 through 3.
It's kind of funny, when I sat down to write this sermon, I realized that I almost never have preached on love, because this is normally the week as a settled minister that I take vacation. So I sat down and I started reading, and I remembered years and years ago, and it made me laugh. With all the wisdom of a couple of 19-year-olds, I was sitting with a friend, and we were having a deep and meaningful discussion about a couple of folks that I was quite interested in. And we went back and forth, and we were debating, and we were analyzing. And at long last, her grandmother, who had been wandering in and out of the room where we were sitting there in deep discussion, put her hands on her hips, and she said, "Oh my God, kid, love ain't pie." What? She said, "You're trying to figure out, can you give a little bit here and a little bit there, and what's going to happen when you run out of it?" She said, "Honey, love ain't pie. Stop trying to figure out how you're going to give it out till you run out." It took me years to really internalize that idea. Love isn't pie. I used to smile because I loved folk music, and then I loved the British invasion. And so much of that was wrapped around the idea of love and loving people. In the early 60s, the Beatles told us all we need is love. All we need is love. And that really hit a chord for an amazing number of listeners. Maybe you were some of them. It was generations of complex theology spelled out in words that people got, or thought they got anyway, because let's face it, some of us also got meaning from "I am the walrus." It was a weird decade. But the Beatles told us essentially there was nothing that we could create through work or writing or singing or speaking or building that could not be duplicated by someone else. Anything we can do can be done again, but the one thing that we can do is to love. We can learn to be ourselves and to love that self and to love the other selves around us. No one can duplicate that. Now, we understand this is speaking very broadly. No one but the Beatles could have written that song, but they could have written similar songs. When it's time for something historically, it tends to develop in multiple places. We know that, but they're not identical. But we're talking about love. So what is love? What is it? We throw the word around all the time. As a child, the first love we're supposed to know is the love of a parent or parents or caregiver. This is a mad, wild, crazy love in most cases, a love that doesn't stop to listen to reason. It's almost unshakable and almost unbreakable. As a parent, the love for your child, it's a biochemical and an emotional response. It says, "I want you to be safe and happy, to be the best you possible, to know joy, to know safety." The parent feels their heart swell, and they know that they want to be a better person just so they can be a better parent. Many parents claim that if needed, they would die for their child without question. This is the love that's supposed to teach us to feel safe in a relationship, to know what it means to be treasured just as we are, even when we screw up, even when we're messy and sticky and smelly. Does it always happen? No. No, lots of parents don't get this right. Lots of children don't get this wild, crazy love. That's okay. We make it. But this is the love that tells us how to be treasured. This is the peace that teaches us how to accept someone caring about us in all of our imperfection. And this love absolutely isn't pie. For a while, it is 3 whole meals a day of walks and feedings, diaper changes, and elementary school. But by the time the child's a young adult, it has become a steady flow of nutrition for the heart and soul that exists to be added onto. And as adults, there is so much adding that we do. I love this quote. According to Rabbi Rachel Timmener, we learn to care by practicing. We all want, more than anything, to be loved. This is not, as Abram Tversky teaches, fish love, where you say, "I love fish," and what you mean is, fish tastes good to you. So you took it out of the water, killed it, boiled it, and ate it. People fall in love, he says, because they think this person will give me what I need. Well, this is not love. Adult love isn't just giving and it isn't just taking. It isn't about being completed by someone. I don't know, but if you all are like me, somewhere along the line, one of your friends said to you, "Oh, I just love him, her, it completes me. I found my soulmate. I am incomplete without them." It doesn't work that way. You aren't incomplete. And love isn't sex. Now, don't get me wrong. Sex is amazing when done well and pretty darn nice when done badly. But sex can be anything from a form of physical exercise utterly mindless and devoid of emotion to a deep bonding experience between people and everything in between. You can have love without sex. You can have sex without love. People fall along the whole spectrum. A dear friend of mine said he knew he was in love when he felt safe enough with his partner to share his non-politically correct thoughts with them and to hear theirs in return, and he felt safe with that. That he could say something he knew would not be accepted and talk that through with her. What is adult romantic love? Love is the person who makes you feel the most you while calling out the best you. It's the person or people you might die for, but that you definitely want to live for. And that love isn't pie either. You don't give away slices of love until it's gone. It's okay to still love your ex-partner whose habits you could not live with, and to love your husband or wife or partner, and to love your best friend, and all of those loves can be deep and meaningful and real. You don't stop loving this one just because you start loving this one. Different forms of love, maybe. But my question, once I understood that love grows the more you give it away, is that how do we go about loving our neighbor? Because we all know a whole bunch of religions suggest that that is an important thing to do, including our own. Selfless love of the other. How do we stand in relation to one another? Why love them with all of the depth of caring that that word implies? One of the best pieces, other than Mr. Rogers, that I ever found to explain who your neighbor is and why you love them is a marvelous piece called Meeting God. And I'm going to do part of it as quickly as I can here, trying to be respectful of your time. It says, "You were on your way home when you died. It was a car accident. Nothing particularly remarkable, but fatal. You left a spouse and 2 children. It was a painless death. They tried to save you. You're better off, trust me." And that's when you met me. "Wait, what happened?" you ask. "Where am I?" "You died," I said, matter-of-factly, no point mincing words. "There was a truck and skidding." "Yep," I said. "I died?" "Yeah, but don't feel bad about it. Everyone dies," I said. "You looked around. There was nothing, just you and me." "What is this place?" you ask. "Is it the afterlife?" More or less," I said. "Are you God?" you asked. "Yeah, sure, I'm God." "My kids, my wife, what about them? Will they be all right?" "That's what I like to see." I said. "You just died and your main concern is your family. That's good stuff right there." And you looked at me with fascination. To you, I didn't look like God. I looked like some person, some vague authority figure. "Grammar school teacher?" "Don't worry," I said. "They'll be fine. Your kids will remember you as perfect. They didn't have time to grow to have contempt for you." To be fair, your marriage was falling apart. If it's any consolation, your spouse will feel very guilty about being relieved. "Okay," you said, "so what happens now? Do I go to heaven or hell or something?" "Nah, you'll be reincarnated." "Ah, so the Hindus were right." All the religions are right. Walk with me. Where are we going?" Nowhere. It's just nice to walk. So what's the point, you ask? When I get reborn, I'll be a blank slate, a baby. Everything I did won't matter. Oh, no, you'll have it all within you. You just won't remember them right now. I stopped walking and took you by your shoulders, and I said, your soul is more magnificent, beautiful, and gigantic than you can possibly imagine. A human mind can only contain a tiny fraction of what you are. It's like sticking your finger into a glass of water to see if it's hot or cold. You put a tiny part of yourself into the vessel, and when you bring it back out, you've gained all the experience it had. You've been a human for 34 years, so you haven't stretched out yet and felt the rest of your consciousness. If we hung out here long, you'd be remembering everything, but there's no point doing that between each life. How many times have I been reincarnated? Oh, lots. Lots of different lives. This time you'll be a Chinese peasant girl in 540 AD. What? You're sending me back in time? Well, I guess. Time only exists in your universe. Where I'm from, things are different. Well, where are you from? Oh, sure, I come from somewhere else. There's others like me. I mean, I know you'll want to know what it's like there, but honestly, you wouldn't understand. Oh, you said, a little let down. But wait, if I get reincarnated to other places in time, could I have interacted with myself? Oh, yeah, sure. Happens all the time. You don't even know what's happening. Then what's the point? Seriously, you're asking me the meaning of life? Isn't that stereotypical? It's reasonable. All right, the meaning of life, the reason I made this whole universe is for you to mature. You mean mankind, right? No, you, just you. I made this whole universe for you. With each life, you get more and more mature and make a greater and greater attempt at intellect. Well, what about everyone else? There is no one else. In this universe, there's just you and me. But all the people on the earth, what about them? They're all you. They're just different incarnations of you. Wait, I'm everyone? Now you get it. I'm every human? Yeah. Whoever lived? Yeah. I'm Abraham Lincoln? And you're John Wilkes Booth. I'm Hitler! And you're the millions. I'm Jesus! And you're everyone who followed him. You're getting it now. Every time you victimize someone, I said, you were victimizing yourself. Every act of kindness you've done to yourself, every happy and sad moment ever experienced was or will be experienced by you. Why? You ask me, why do this? Because someday, I said, you'll be like me. You're one of my kind. Whoa, you mean I'm God? Not yet. You're a fetus. You're still growing. Once you've lived every human life throughout all time, you will have grown enough to be born. So the whole universe is just, it's an egg. And now it's time for you to move on to your life, and I sent you on your way. What an amazing, amazing view of our interdependent web. The Beatles would have loved it because I am he as you are he and you are me and we are all together. Why do we love our neighbor? Because they're us. How do we love them? We be present. We be there with them. We do what wouldn't hurt us to have done to us. The Beatles got it right. Come together, I am you and you are me, and all you need is love. Be present with your whole self. Accept the other people purely as they are. Take joy that you and another human are in proximity, that you can see their reality. Experience your neighbor as they are, even if it doesn't coincide with your own reality. That's the beginning of love. If you're truly present, it becomes much easier to take the next step, to stop insisting that you come first, that you are the only main character. Love isn't pie. There's enough to go around, and you can never just use up all of yours. If I am you and you are me and we're all together, there's no shame or pain in doing it, whatever it is, my way or your way. You're me, I'm you, and the best way is ours, no matter which head the idea swam into first. Be present, recognize that sometimes others need to come first. That's where love starts, and after all, love is all you need, right? Amen. We extinguish this chalice and we know that as far as our love flows, as far as our hope grows, as far as our yearning goes, we are no farther than that from one another. Please rise in body or spirit and join in singing our closing hymn this week, number 21, For the Beauty of the Earth. We leave today so blessed by our connections to one another. Feel the joy of the breath in your lungs and the fire in your heart. Live to love and be loved and be a blessing on this earth. Peace, ashe, and may it be so.